All right, what's up, everybody? Got a little update to the loft today. I got some kit boxes here that I built in the front. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in my last video, but I know I mentioned the open breeder section that I closed off over there. I made it smaller. So everybody's up in here now. They still got their access to the outside over here. A couple breeding boxes that I'll be tearing down soon to rebuild and make it a little nicer. But through the whole year, this section here was empty. So I decided to transform it into some kit boxes. You can kind of see this whole side here, well, at least the first three, you can see it's pretty much like that. That's where I'll be letting them out, and that's where they'll be coming back in, hopefully. Also have slide out trays to clean. Just make it a whole lot easier cleaning it that way. Each level has it. Now the bottom is a little different. I had another one of these to put down there, but it was kind of rotted. It was falling apart, so I decided to maybe, it was recommended to by a friend of mine, Lawrence Lucas, to use the bottom section for the droppers, which sounds like a pretty good idea, actually. So that's pretty much it. Each kit box will hold about 6 to 7 birds, which is really all I need for a kit box. That's all I'm flying here right now. I got 7 birds in here now. Actually, I got 2 up there. Right there. You can see them. I let them go about 15 minutes ago. So the idea is, never mind, my yard is a wreck right now. I had to actually rip the whole front of the coop off to do this. And I got a bunch of 2x4s from a place, a furniture place that throws a bunch of 2x4s out. Pretty much had to rip all the nails out of it and clean it up and get it to work. But the idea was not only just to have separate kit boxes, but in the winter time, I would like to have an area to separate the cocks and the hens. And it makes it a lot easier to do it this way if I can separate them all right here in the front. Less cleaning, stuff like that. I'll still have to come out once a day when it's really cold to put the water because it freezes up here in Pennsylvania where I'm at. But I want to do away with this thing. I'm going to keep it, but I want to I can easily tear it down and lean it up against in the inside there or by my window. I can lean it up in there, out of the way, and keep it tucked in just in case, you know, if I had to move or something, I can reassemble it and get it set up in the new house or something like that, you know. So back to the kit boxes. It's nice to have an area like this where I can separate also the different families too. So not just to separate during the winter, but I can separate the different families, or I can separate the cocks and the hens. I pretty much have 3 families of birds in here right now anyway, so works out perfect that way. So been out of work for a little while, and I'll be going back to work in a few weeks. So I wanted to try and get out here and finish this up before I get back to work and before it gets too cold. So it's not quite finished yet though. I still gotta make some kind of a door here on the inside. I wanted to have separate access points in the inside also, just in case it's raining and I don't want to be out here in the front. I can just come inside here and feed the birds this way and change the water and stuff like that. So the idea was kind of inspired by Joe Mays, Moatside Tipplers, Moatside Loft. He has something similar, but not exactly like this. He has a nice coop that he has set up, and he's got his different kit boxes on the inside of the coop. And I always liked that idea of having it inside the coop and everything else. So, being that I had the free space here in the front, I decided to do it here in the front. I'm also gonna have a separate door when all this here is closed up. still got to sand a little bit here. It's a little tight, but I want to have 2 doors that'll swing open like this. So a door on the left and then a door on the right to swing open. That I have these pieces right here that I can use. These pieces of plastic. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it's about 1 inch thick. It's pretty light, pretty light material. So I want to use that to make 2 separate doors. I can close the whole thing off completely in bad weather or cold weather, rain, stuff like that. So it's coming along pretty good. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with this side here yet. I would like to have a cage like this for the birds to come out. I can do that if I take this cage and I got about 1 foot of space to move it over. Or I can move it over and shrink it down a little bit, because this whole thing is 6 feet. I can have 4 feet for the breeders, and then have 2 feet for the flyers. Have 3 separate cages so that they can come out and get wet when it rains and stuff like that if they want to. So it's not finished yet. I'm also thinking of different ideas as far as training them, the trap train. I got the barbs and everything. So I'm gonna put a trap in here on the inside. And I'm thinking about a box that I can hang on the outside that I can open and put the birds in, and I can force them to go through the trap. But also have it removable, so I can, depending on which birds I'm training, I can remove the box and attach it to the middle or attach it to the bottom and train that way for trap training. So it's coming along pretty good. I'm actually a little bit surprised I was able to get this done in 2 days. So last thing is just to get these doors put in, and then I'll start maybe putting some of these guys in. I've been using this kit box here on the right hand side for breeding also, which works pretty good, but I want to try and get everybody in here together. So the idea is I want to also tear those breeding boxes apart and just put them together a little nicer. As you can see, I had to, I used 2x4s for all this. So I have a 2x4 here that the one on top sit on. And I got a big space in here with 2x4s that the piece of wood sits on. So I want to maybe get some smaller wood to shrink it a little bit so I can fit a 4th breeding box down there. So that's really all I need. Four main breeding boxes. And then I have some breeders on the inside that I can swap eggs from these guys to the ones on the inside, depending on what project I'm working on. So it's all work in progress. So I got 2 birds up there right now. Those are Shannons. They do pretty good. I could have let them all out, but there's somebody in here that keeps coming down, and I'm not sure why. I suspect it's that grizzle right there. She keeps coming down and bringing the rest. So I'm just going through the birds to see who's doing what right now and see who I want to keep for breeding next year. So that's pretty much it. Now that that's finished, I'll get my yard cleaned up, get all this wood chopped up in pieces out for the garbage, and get everything finished up before the winter. Or at least before the fall. So, all right, that's pretty much it. I'd like to give a little update. It's been a while since I put videos up. And that's pretty much it. Like I always say at the end of my videos, if you made it this far through the video, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.